Clarion. I'm Kelly Esno. Today on TV5 News Live Update, heavy fighting continues in East Afghanistan as part of Operation Anaconda. And the bodies of 7 Americans killed this week are returning to the U.S. Reporter Elaine Keano has the latest on the war on terror.
A somber scene at Ramstein Air Base in Germany as a military honor guard received 7 flag-draped caskets containing the bodies of the American servicemen killed yesterday in Afghanistan. The 7 died while taking part in Operation Anaconda, an intense ground offensive against pockets of Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters that began last Friday near the town of Gardez in eastern Afghanistan. Americans died under attack. In a separate incident, 6 troops from another chopper were killed in a gun battle on the ground after enemy bombed their aircraft.
When the helo was on the ground, those personnel on the helo exchanged gunfire with the enemy. 6 individuals from this helo were killed as a result of this firefight.
Defense officials say some 2,000 U.S., allied, and Afghan fighters continue to strike al-Qaeda and Taliban targets in what's being described as some of the fiercest fighting of the Afghan campaign.
The people who are left fighting the al-Qaeda are among the toughest, the most violent, the most committed to fighting this out to the end.
U.S. officials estimate there are still several hundred Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters holed up in the rough terrain near Gardez. They say it could take another week to 10 days before Operation Anaconda is complete. In Washington, I'm Elaine Quijano.
California voters are casting their ballots in the first big primary of election 2002. In the governor's race, Republican Richard Riordan is accusing Democratic incumbent Gray Davis of hijacking today's GOP primary. Davis's ads slamming the former Los Angeles mayor have helped Riordan's leading GOP rival, conservative businessman Bill Simon, become the unexpected frontrunner in that primary contest. Governor Davis, who is running for the 2nd term, does not face any major opposition in the Democratic primary. Clarion Borough Council is just let out, and right now TV5's own Mark Despotakis at the Clarion Free Library and is here now with a recap of tonight's event.
Thank you, Kelly. We are here live at the Clarion Free Library. The meeting actually has not technically adjourned, but as you can see behind me, council is not in here right now. They've gone into what's called executive session. They're talking about police negotiations in another part of the building. So the meeting will actually technically adjourn. As soon as that's done, we won't actually be showing that to you on TV, but there will be no action taken, they have said. A couple things to talk about from tonight's meeting. One item of note, Dan Cohen is going to be doing the Adelphia negotiations here for the borough. That name may be familiar to for a few reasons. Dan Cohen did those negotiations here before. You also may know him. He was a member of Pittsburgh City Council. But again, the topic of the evening, as it was last time, is crosswalks here in the borough. We've talked a lot over the last month about the crosswalks down there on 322 by Wilkinson and Nair Halls that go over to the student parking lots. The borough went to PennDOT to talk about that, and they've come back with a recommendation, and it looks to be more complex than just painting some lines on the street for a crosswalk there. PennDOT is going to require some more than that. It looks like it could cost some $20,000 to $30,000. Now, Clarion University has agreed to pay for that, but it has to be channeled through council through the borough for it to work with the state. So here's the motion that was passed tonight by council. The university is going to send a letter to council saying that yes, we will pay for installing and maintaining that crosswalk, and PennDOT has to bring their design for what they want to do there to council. Council will then go ahead and approve that. So we should see more on that coming up in the next few months. They also talked a little bit about the crosswalk on Greenville. Crosswalk's a big issue tonight. Is there a lack of communication between some folks at the university when there are major events for people who are crossing by Tippin Gymnasium? Another issue that is going to be explored in the next month. Look for a complete update of tonight's meeting tomorrow night on TV5 News Live. Our Autumn Gels is here. She will have that report. For now, live at the Clarion Free Library, Mark Despotakis, TV5 News. Kelly, back to you.
Thanks, Mark. In local news, Clarion County unemployment rates are in, and they aren't very good. The unemployment rate for January jumped from 4.3% in December to 5.9% in January. That's a raise of 800 people in Clarion County that are unemployed. Although Clarion rates are not good, they are not as high as the rest of Pennsylvania's rates, with the average unemployment rates are up to 6.3% unemployed. Well, Clarion University alumni are doing some good for the students. The university's Alumni Association sponsored its annual Spring for Scholars auction. With over 460 people in attendance, the auction raised over $51,000 for student scholarships. Proceeds from this auction helped the Alumni Association to provide over $7,000 worth of scholarships to Clarion University students. Join us tomorrow night for Jackie Nealon and Pat Graves. We'll return with the regular newscast, bringing you the latest in local and state news. For everyone here at TV5, I'm Kelly Esno. Have a good evening.